Hello and welcome to my 91st book synopsis. There are some books which are easy to read. The language used is so lucid that you get uh, hooked to that book. But at the same time, when you know that all things said in this book are not entirely accurate, then the job of me or anybody who is doing book synopsis becomes difficult because a third party perspective may not be always possible. The book today I am going to talk about also has some of such things, and in fact, probably for the first time, I am going to do some criticism of the book, and that's also the reason why the length of today's book synopsis would be longish than the way what it is always. With this disclaimer, let me introduce the book to you. The name of the book is this big name: Absolute Power, Inside Story of National Stock Exchanges, Amazing Success Leading to Hubris, Regulatory Capture and Algo Scam. We'll talk about what this is. This book was published in year 2021. Please remember this year because it has relevance subsequently. By King Source, and the book is written by two authors, Sucheta Dalal and Debashis Basu. Now, those who are not from the financial services industry or this financial services sector, these two are business journalists and have been associated with this particular field for, I guess, more than 3.5 decades. Now, let us go back slightly. Before that, so as you can see that this book is all about national stock exchanges and the controversies surrounding it. The book starts with authors telling us about a defamation case filed by National Stock Exchange against these authors and how they won that case subsequently. And then they take us to the flashback, the way it happens in movies to create interest for us in the book. The book then explains the share market of 1990s because that's what is important to understand why NSE had to come into existence. So, a stock exchange at that point of time or share market, there was only one stock exchange, that is the Bombay Stock Exchange, run by the brokers. Some people used to call them as the Brokers Club also. The trading system was not system driven but an open cry system. So basically it means that now those who are trading may not be even able to think how can that be, which it means that your broker will go to the stock exchange physically, shout that he wants to sell these shares. There will be corners for each important shares, and those share purchase will happen. At the same time, there was no concept of dematerialization. Demat means you can say electronic form of shares, keeping shares in electronic form. That was also not there, which means that all the problems related to manual operations as well as problems with handling physical paper were existing and prevalent and rampant at that point of time. The Harshad Mehta scam made government to look at the serious look at, taking steps towards initiating in a way that the stock exchange is run by an institution and not on the whims and fancies of brokers. Therefore, IDBI was given the responsibility to carve out a team and set up a stock exchange. The founding team of NSE was Dr. R.H. Patil, Ravi Narayan, Chitra Ramakrishna, Raghavan Putran, and Ashish Chauhan. Out of this, Dr. Patil is no more with us. Ravi Narayan and Chitra were alleged to be involved in the scam. We'll talk about that later. Of course, Chitra Ramakrishna was arrested by CBI also, and she was in jail for around 2 years. Raghavan Putran is out of this capital market industry and he is doing something else. Last is surprisingly Ashish Chauhan. When this book was published, he was MD and CEO of Bombay Stock Exchange. Today, in July 2025, when I am recording this video, he is MD and CEO of National Stock Exchange. When you all see an year later, I do not know what will be the situation. Now, what made the difference initially? So when the operation started of NSE, they started on three fundamental differences as compared to BSE to become a successful. Since it helped them to become successful. One was management and ownership structure. Now, management was entirely a professional management. Second, organization structure, it was not the broker funded organization, but an institution created organization. So that was one differentiator. Second one was settlement guarantee. Settlement means when you trade in the stock exchange, you need to ensure that whatever you have purchased or sold, you will get the shares or you will get the money for that. In case of Bombay Stock Exchange, sometimes settlement would be in 2 weeks, sometimes it can be 1 week, 1 month. So, though not always. So, there was no guarantee about it. But NSE created something called as settlement guarantee, which was a big differentiator. And BSE also followed it subsequently. Third was regional exchange, which was BSE versus First National Stock Exchange. NSE started its operations in June 1994 and one day after its first anniversary, their volume were more than that of BSE and till date, from that day onward, it has continued that way. So now you can see around 30 years, 29 years, it has been a market leader in all the sectors or it operates. Of course, they also had to undergo difficulties, technological challenges, perception, कि इनको क्या समझेगा share market, competition. But as per authors, following 5 points were important that made it a successful organization. One, of course, is settlement guarantee, which means that a smooth and assured weekly settlement. But at any cost, the settlement will happen. Second was high rate of order conversion. As the exchange started with online system rather than outcry system, there was no question of or the possibility of order getting dropped or forgotten to be noted was not there. So execution of trades was much better as compared to NSE. Third was clean delivery and settlement guarantee. Fourth, well capitalized members. So members were required to be reasonably good capitalized so that in case of default, they should be able to bring in the funds to ensure the guarantee, settlement guarantee. And last point that helped, though not intended by NSE, was that low expectations of the market. लोगों को लगा नहीं था कि they will become a successful. So that these 5 points made NSE organization a successful. NSE never looked back from that. It went from strength to strength and strength. Even today it is a market leader, though there have been other concerns we'll talk about or the scams that arose. But from 2000 onwards, according to authors, they started behaving as if they are above law and it started creating the problems. The author has then listed several issues / frauds / scams that have been observed from them, are reported also. Let us look at them quickly. We are already 9 minutes today, but it's going to take time, as I said. It will still take 6-7 minutes for me. So first was a co-location facility, which means that it was alleged that some of the brokers were given the access to a system in such a way that the price information about a particular script, they will get microseconds ahead of others, which help them to earn a lot of money. Authors have also given the list of such books and their financials, how much money they made. Authors also claim that NSE blocked the MCX and Bombay Stock Exchange on various initiatives that would eventually become a competition for them. On the lighter side, when I read about MCX, SX and Jignesh Shah of Financial Services and MCX, SX owner, I somewhere felt that the authors have some kind of soft corner for them. Then the issue of NSE taking a stake in CAMS. CAMS is a registrar and transfer agent for mutual fund industry, as well as Omnisys, without taking a regulatory approval. And the last is about high frequency trading scam, HFT you can say, or algo scam or algorithm scam, where basically the trading happens on the pre-decided criteria, price, volume, etc., and in the automatic fashion. Now, what was exactly a fraud or scam, you should read in the book, because otherwise we will keep on talking for 20-25 minutes. So these are the scams that have been reported in the book, and obviously the author claimed that SEBI completely overlooked it, either deliberately or because of the incapabilities that they have, but they felt, authors have felt that SEBI was not a good regulator in regulating or controlling NSE. If I look at the book, I believe that it has a nice, the authors have a nice writing skills and a skill of a storyteller. You get sucked into the book and you do not keep the book down till you finish it. In fact, the same thing happened to me when I read earlier book on the Harshad Mehta scam. The name of the book itself is The Scam. The only difference this time is that this time I knew something, because I was rather related to this particular industry, and that's why I would not be able to take, I am not able to take everything on the face value the way when I read the earlier book, and I have a certain opinion which is different from the authors. So while I would say that I generally would agree to the storyline, though there is no doubt about what they have said, there are certain factual errors which I would like to point out. First one is where she has said about NSE hiring the senior level officials as consultants. She has given few names, and one of the name is of Dr. V.R. Narasimhan. Now, I know Mr. V.R. Narasimhan personally, and I always believed that he was a permanent employee of National Stock Exchange. Therefore, I reached out to him and to reconfirm, though I knew, he said same thing, that he was not a consultant. What she has said is false, but he was a permanent employee in the National Stock Exchange. One more example of a factual error, I would need to read what she has read. At one place, she says that NSDL showed high-handed disregard for the difficulties faced by retail investors in getting access to depository participants and giving timely sale purchase transactions to their brokers. And she claimed that because of this, they started executing power of attorney and it was misused. While I do not deny that the power of attorney was misused by a few brokers to a certain extent, but the claiming that massive abuse and misuse of investor funds appear to be going overboard. This brings me to the third point, not about factual error but something else, is about the way she has painted Mr. C.B. Bhave, who was earlier MD and CEO of NSDL, and then he went to become chairman of SEBI. But before I talk, let me give a disclaimer. I worked with Mr. Bhave for 12 years from 1996 to 2008. till time he went on to become SEBI chairman. So my views can be biased. Okay, coming back to the point. Frankly, if you see the above point which I referred just now about NSDL, it has nothing to do with this book. This book is on all about scams, purported scams or scams of National Stock Exchange. So there was no reason for her to bring out the point related to NSDL. But as she somehow wants to paint a picture of how Mr. Bhave was not a good leader, or as for NSDL, and then as well as for SEBI chairman, and wants to paint him in the black color, she has used this particular point. In fact, to her credit, apart from GVR or GV Ramakrishna, all successors of him, she has failed at either they were below average and that either they helped NSE or they were scared of NSE. I will not be able to comment about other chairman, but I definitely do not agree this particular point of view about Mr. Bhave. Again, as I said, this is my personal opinion. There are certain things which happened after the book had been published, which is important for us to know, because 2021, as I said, the book was published. In 2024, SEBI, market regulator, has disposed of a case against NSE and its officials, including Chitra Ramakrishna and Ravi Narayan, in co-location activity, citing absence of sufficient evidence. In a high frequency trading trading case, NSE has settled the matter with SEBI in 2024 by paying an amount of 634 crores. Now, there is a market information, true or false, I do not know, that NSE has offered 1400 crore to SEBI to settle the other case, that is co-location case. So we do not know what will happen. By the time you see next year, things could have been different, things could have moved ahead, I don't know. So overall, good storyline, lot of important things brought out which are relevant for us to know and which are true also, but at the same time, do not get carried away by everything what is said, and not everything may be accurate. I think this is the highest time that I have spent on any book synopsis. I will stop here. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.